Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne, and I am just popping on here. I didn't give any notice. It's just an impromptu um, coming on YouTube. And I had been on earlier for just a very short time earlier, about 5 o'clock, and it's about 10:30 now in the evening. And I just started back to doing live streaming over the last 2 or 3 days. And it's all new to me again because it's been 3 years since I was doing live streaming. And it's been 5 or 6 years on Facebook. I used to do a lot of live streaming on Facebook, and it's been 5 or 6 years, and I just did one over there. And I'm trying to get my TikTok up and running because I have a really great group of people over on TikTok. But for some reason, I'm having a technical glitch where I can't get it to go live. And so I thought, well, I'll come back over, mosey on back over here to YouTube and do another live again, even though I did a short live earlier. I'm just popping on for a short time. And this is not through StreamYard. I was trying StreamYard. I came on here a few minutes ago and it just didn't work right. And I have the free version right now to see if I really want to go with StreamYard again. And I don't know if the free version is all that good. It seems okay, but I don't think it's anywhere near as good as the paid version. But I want to make sure I pay for it that I'm going to use it. And so, whereas when you come directly through YouTube, it doesn't let you bring other people up, and that's the thing about coming on YouTube, directly, when you're not using the app. So we'll see. I have one watching now, which is me, and so I want to see if anybody comes on. And usually it takes a few moments for people to come on because I don't give any notice. I don't say, hey, I'm going to be coming on live in a certain time. In the past, people knew to look for me somewhere in the evening, usually anywhere from 8:30 to 10:30 at night, sometimes as late as 11 o'clock. And and so they knew where to find me. But now, I've been gone so long from live streaming. I've not been gone from content. I put a lot of content up every day. And but this is just really, um, this is just where I am kind of deciding, hey, I want to come on for a little bit. I have some time and I'll show up. So we'll see. Let's see if YouTube pushes me out so that, someone comes on. If I get one person that comes on, then I know it's going public because I don't know if I have my settings even set right. I may not have them set on public. I may have them set on private. So I don't know. And so we'll see. And, but, going live is very different. Hey, Justin, thank you for coming. So I guess you all can see that I am on, right? And so, yeah. So YouTube has changed a lot since I was doing live streaming. Originally, when I did live streaming, and this is about over 3 years ago, um, 5 years ago, I got about 500 people, 500, 400 or 500 people in my chat. Suddenly, it seemed like overnight, my algorithm changed and no one was seeing that I'm live until like a day later after it was already in recording. And so I just said, you know what? I don't know what happened. I guess I messed up my algorithm. And because I do content and I do shorts and I do long, and, I think it messed it up. And so all the people that would come into my chat were not seeing that I was even on. And so I just quit doing live streamings and went back to my content. And from my understanding, some people have a channel that is solely live. They do live streaming and nothing but live streaming. And other people have, the channel where they do solely content. And some people just do shorts and some people do long. So I think that could be that when you switch back and forth, that could pose an issue. And so I don't really know. But if I detect that, YouTube pushes me out enough, then I may end up coming on, um, you know, even, well, maybe not every night, but a couple times a week at, around 9 or 10 o'clock at night. If they're not going to push me out, then I'll just stick with my content and just do my daily content and my wisdom videos and my dance videos and things like that. So, um, but my topic tonight was going to be on marriages. And I just wanted to come on here and talk. I'm a wisdom channel. I don't give advice or suggestions or information. I just share with you my perspective and how I see life. And being that I've been married for about 35 years, I'm almost 70 years old, and I've been married for 35 years, almost 35 years. And being that I've been married that long, I know a lot about marriage. I can't say that I'm a marriage expert because I'm only an expert in my own marriage. But I can tell you what's worked for us and what didn't work for us, you know. And and so um, I think what worked for us all these years is that we just got along. We put our marriage first and we had a lot of fun. We have had so much fun in our marriage. And I think for me that that's probably the biggest component to a marriage. Even during the tough times, I always try to find a way to lighten up and make things good. And so that's what that's what we did. And I'm still only got one in here, and I can't figure out. Let me say, join the conversation to interact with the creator and others. Watch live stream. Open panel. I don't know what that's about. Okay, so I am not sure why I am not being pushed out tonight. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time here. And so I'm going to talk about marriage, and if nothing else, maybe people can see it in replay the next day. I mean, it's really odd that I must not have my settings right, is all I can say. Like I said, I used to get 400 and 500 people 5 years ago, and then it was like overnight there was a glitch or something, and I even contacted YouTube about it. I said, "Is there a glitch on my channel? Because I've gone from all this amount of people being in my chat to people saying they don't see that I'm on live until the very next day." So if that's the situation and that continues, then I probably will not do the live streaming. But if I see that people see that I'm on live in a reasonable time and not the next day after it's in recording land, then I may go ahead and continue to do them. But getting back to marriage, and that's kind of what the topic of this video would be about, is that I think that you do a lot of giving in a marriage. And, I think that when things get too heavy in a marriage, when there's too many problems, if you don't find a way to lighten up from time to time, it's going to wear on the marriage. And I learned that early on, but I always kept my marriage fun because I was a fun person. When we were first going together, I was fun. I was fun. I enjoyed life and I enjoyed our marriage. And, so um, it was really a lot of fun. And so I think that's what kept my marriage really, really good. Okay, I'm sitting here and I've been on 10 minutes, and there's one person, which is me, in this chat. So now there was Justin was in here. So I appreciate Justin coming in. So I do know that somehow the channel has gone out, but I don't know. people are not seeing it being on, I guess. So let me look here, and I'm going to go over into my settings and see what's going on. Let's go over to the live part and see if there's anything going on here. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So, this is kind of what I'm thinking. I'm going to sit here for a few minutes. I'm going to say, somehow I'm not being pushed out where people can see that I'm on live stream. And I started off with StreamYard, and now I've backed up, and that didn't work. And so now I'm over on here. So I don't know why that's not happening. Let me look at my settings here. Make sure I am on public. Hmm. I guess I am. Well, I'll talk to myself then. I'll just talk to myself and see if anybody comes on. So, yeah, so, it might be just a short video on the marriage topic, but I think that in marriage, if you have a lot of fun, and it's not all about fun. I mean, there's things that people, when you're married, that you have to, it's a lot of give and take. It's, marry the person you love. I never married for money. I married for love. And I was madly in love, and he loved me. So it was a two-way street. We were young, we were young. We were much younger, and my husband's 5 years younger than me, and we were married about almost 35 years ago. And so, yeah, it was really something. And we were madly in love and very, very happy. And and so we did a lot of things. We've raised a family, and just had a lot of fun. And there's been difficult times. Like I said, when my husband got cancer, that was terrible. My mother got sick. This is years ago, and I brought her into my home, and I took care of her until she, I could no longer take care of her, and then she had to go to a rehab center because she, was being fed by tubes and things like that, and I couldn't take care of her in the home that way. But I was over there every day taking care of her. And so, when you're taking care of a sick parent, as noble as that is and as wonderful as it is to do that, it can take its toll on relationships because you're tired, you're exhausted. But I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I took care of my mother, and I did a wonderful job, taking care of her. And she is a wonderful mother. Um, and I think that, fortunately now, well, welcome, welcome. Finally, I'm seeing that YouTube may be pushing me out a little bit. Hey, Vex Magic, nice to see you. I have not seen you in forever. So, Vex Magic, what I was saying is, I'm not sure how long I'm going to be on here because I don't think YouTube is pushing me out. And so I'm kind of been talking to myself a lot in here. When I first started on here, hey, Kayleen Marie, welcome, welcome. She's doing good. She's doing good. Thank you. Um, thank you. So, like I said, I'm not sure how long I'm going to be on here because YouTube, I don't know how long it takes for them to push me out. I don't give notifications that I'm going to be on. And I think that when you don't give a notification, then YouTube doesn't catch up with you. And I don't really give a notification because I don't know when I'm going to be on, or I don't know for sure if I'm going to be on. Yeah, Vex Magic, there are people losing their channels, and I can't say for the reason why. I don't know. Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you. I don't know why there have been people that I've known that have lost, okay, they've lost their channel. And, for whatever reason, they call it spam, deceptive practices, whatever. So if it can happen to them, it can happen to anybody. And, sometimes if you put the same video up, more than once, that can be considered spam. And so, we're all kind of learning. And, on here, it's not an easy, you kind of learn as you go. It's not one of those things where you just, automatically know how all the rules. And so, yeah, I've seen people lose their channels, and that's not a good thing. So I've had my channel since 2011. I originally um, made my channel for my three children, and they were small children at the time, and I wanted them to have mommy's wisdom. And they were too young for it at the time. So I did like, 30-second wisdom videos, and I would put them up on YouTube. And I put them up on YouTube for them for, when they grew up, if they wanted to hear what I had to say, they could go to my YouTube channel. So if you could actually go back, you can find videos from 2011 um, with me and my family um, in there. And I have a lot of videos. And if you want to see what I look like in 2011, look up Diana Brienne, Harper Valley PTA, Diana Brienne style. And um, that'll take you completely back. Thank you, Big Mama. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm so glad somebody's coming on because, I was almost ready to get off, you know. And I was ready to get off because I was, because um, like I said, YouTube, for whatever reason, they do not push you out. I mean, they do not push me out like they used to. And they used to push me out, and I'd get 400 or 500 people in my chat. I mean, it was crazy. And then overnight, my algorithm changed. Hey, old car junkie, welcome. I know, old car junkie, it's been over 3 years. I came on Saturday, I came on Sunday, just very briefly. I was trying StreamYard. I was trying to do it with StreamYard, and I'm using the free version right now. And it's okay, but I'm not sure, it's not working that great for me. So I got off of the free version and I just came over to the regular YouTube, the YouTube app. You can't bring other people up when you're on the YouTube app, but when you're on StreamYard, you can bring people up, and that's why I like StreamYard. So if I decide I'm going to do live streams again, then I'll go ahead and get the paid version of it. If not, I'm just using, the free version of it or whatever. Just kind of see if I'm going to do live streams. Because if they don't push me out, if YouTube does not push me out because of the algorithm, then there's no sense in me coming on if people are not getting notified until the next day. And if they're getting notified the next day and I've already been live, it's no longer live. And so this is live. And and I think part of that has to do with the fact that I'm a content creator. I'm not a live streamer. And so YouTube does not recognize me as a live streamer anymore. And I think that's what happened 3 years ago was when I went from 400 or 500 people in the chat down to one or two people in the chat. Um, I started accelerating my content. And when I accelerated my content, it switched the algorithm to believe that I was not a live streamer. And so that's pretty much what happened, you know. And then my husband got sick. He had cancer, terminal, and he had very bad cancer. He's 100% cancer free. And that was a whole journey. We talked about that. Yes, Kaylee Maria, tonight was going to be the topic about marriages and about how to have a great marriage. Yes, Kaylee. So basically, Kaylee, he had end stage cancer. It came on suddenly. It was a shock. I mean, we were all just beyond belief. I mean, he handled it really well. I think I tried to handle it well for the kids, even though they're adult children. Um, we tried to, you know, it was a tough time, and he took the chemo, and the chemo was brutal for him. I'm not saying it's brutal for everybody. I'm saying for him it was brutal, and he was so sick from it, and it only reduced it 25%. And so, with the doctor's permission, I asked him, can I, we go holistic. And so we did a number of things holistic, including a holistic type diet, a very healthy way of eating, which we always did eat healthy, but we eliminated things like sugar and things like that. And so within 6 months, he was 100% cancer free and has been 100% cancer free for 3 years. And the amazing thing is the only side effects that he has is from the chemo. He got some neuropathy where he gets some numbness and tingling in his feet and hands, but there's no cancer. And so it was the chemo that really he had the problems with. So what was it that cured my husband? I don't know. A miracle. I say it was a miracle because miracles can come through medicine, it can come through almost anything. I was determined, when it didn't look good, I said, no, you've got to live. You've got to live. You've got to get through this. You've got to be well. And I just, every day, I spoke positive words over him every single day. You're going to live. You're going to be well. We want our old life back, just our day to day life. And here we are. Was over 3 years now, I think. I think it's going on 4. It could be 3, could be 4. I have to go back and look. But he plays golf, except he broke his foot. And he broke his foot because he has some neuropathy in his feet. So he came in the dark in the morning to give me a kiss before he went to work because he'd gotten up. He gets up quietly, go get some coffee, gets dressed, comes back, gives me a kiss at 5:30 in the morning. And he tripped on the rug and he broke his foot. And so this is 3 months ago. So my son, I have my 2 sons live at home, and they came in and they thank you, Vex Magic, thank you. And they came in, picked him up, took him to the hospital, and yeah, sugar. You know, I try to stay away from it. I do a natural artificial sugar, I guess it would be called. It's not. It's a natural one though. It's very popular, but it's made out of I think an Amazon leaf, and I use that. I make all kinds of wonderful foods, desserts and everything without sugar, and use the sweetener that I'm using, the Amazon leaf type of sweetener, and but he broke his foot, had surgery on it. I told him not to have surgery, and he had surgery, and he had more complications from the surgery. I think had he not had the surgery, it would have healed fine. So then the foot finally got better. And then he went for physical therapy. And for some reason, after the physical therapy, his foot bothered him. So, it takes a little while to heal. And so that's the only thing he's going through. But he's doing wonderful. He plays golf. He's just doing super. I'm really proud of him and proud of our family. It was a tough time. It was a tough time for our family. And I'm so proud that he got better. And yeah, beet sugar is good. I think old car junkie. And I'm so proud of my family. I have good kids. They're all young adults, and then you know, you just get through stuff. But that goes back to marriage. I talk about bring fun into your marriage. Bring fun. Looks like I got something under my nose, but I don't. Okay, I don't know what it was. Um, Maybe. um, but marriage. When you go through tough times, you got to keep your sense of humor, and we did. We did. I would read to him at night, and when he was sick, and I just, it was all positive stuff every night, every night. So you got to do a lot of giving, and sometimes one person gives more in a marriage than. Thank you. It's, sometimes one person gives more in a marriage than another, and then the other one gives. It's not always a 50-50 thing in a marriage. I mean, when he was sick, I was given 90%, 100%. But there's been times where he's gave the 100%. You know, you can't be like looking at, is it always 50-50? Because marriage is not like that. When you get married, you're marrying somebody to share your life with. And that includes all the fun, but it also includes each other's problems, throughout life, you know. And if you're married long enough, life happens, things happen in life, expected or unexpected. Now, a lot of people quit investing in their marriage and then they wonder why it goes south. You got to keep investing in your marriage. And if you've quit investing in your marriage and you want to keep that marriage, start reinvesting in it. Reinvest in you and reinvest in the relationship. And, what we invest in flourishes. What we stop investing in dries up. And so I've always invested in my marriage. I've always had a lot of fun, made it fun. I'm a fun person. I'm a fun person. And I make our marriage fun. And but in the serious moments, and we've had plenty of serious moments, you're there for each other. You come together, and you are solid with each other, and you get through those difficult times. You hold on, and marriage is a lot about holding on. Um, you know what? It can work any which way. I lived in California when I met my husband. He actually got on a wrong plane and landed where I was working. And that was how we met. And so it can work. It can work. Anything can work when you want it to work. Okay, when you want it to work, and it takes effort. And but at one point, I had to step on a plane and go to where he was at because he couldn't come to where I was at to live because of his career. But my career was very flexible, and I gave up my whole life in California. I wasn't originally from California. I was from Appalachia, and I moved to California when I was 17. Thank you, Big Mama. Thank you. I moved there when I was 17 and left West Virginia, and I moved to Hollywood and at 17, and I lived out there for quite a few years, and then I met my husband. And so I have a lot of Hollywood stories, that I've shared or could share. And I've been taking home video for 45 years every day. And I had the big old VHS camera on my back in the 70s, 80s, with the big battery pack. And all those VHS tapes I carried around the world with us. And when my kids were little and babies, I have all that on video. It was just wonderful. And so about 2 years ago, I started pulling all those many, many boxes, hundreds, maybe thousands of videos out of the attic. And I started to convert them to digital. And I had a VCR. My husband got me one of those digital converters, which are brand new out, not a DVD converter from VHS to DVD, which I used to have, but this is actually converts it to digital. And it's amazing. Hey, Richard, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Richard. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, old car junkie, absolutely. And you just got to keep on going. And you appreciate each other when you get old. You know, that's when my aunt once told me, she said, whatever you got to go through when you're younger is worth it because when you're old, you really need each other. And I truly do believe that, you know. Thank you, Richard. Oh, yeah, Richard, I have been doing it for 45 years, as you know, all those home videos. I don't know, Richard. I know you followed my channel. Um, have you seen a lot of my home videos from the past? I put a lot of those home video clips up, not all. I mean, I have thousands and thousands. And, some of them are, not everybody in my family wants to be up on YouTube. But, the ones that didn't mind, I put bits and pieces and clips up, like when my husband and I were first married and when I was young and living in California and all that, all the different hairstyles, all the different looks, everything. And I did that. And I'm so grateful that I have all those years because, the older you get, the more you rely on your memories. I'm a firm believer in living presently, fully, and today, and plan for the future and cherish the past. And yet, the older we get, the more, we realize that a lot of our life was lived in the past, is, gone. It's past. We only have so much time ahead. And so, yeah, I love that, the renovation. Oh my goodness, Richard. Oh, the renovation. The renovation that went on for 4 months when we had our kitchen renovated. It was awful. It came out beautiful. My kitchen's gorgeous, but they did the kitchen, the living room, that whole area. The area where I dance and do my videos was all redone. The dining room area was, I mean, all of that was redone. Took 4 months. They ripped everything out. We had pipes sticking up through the floor. It just felt horrible. I was cooking in the bathroom on a hot plate. I mean, it was just really, really something. And yes, it is so. Thank you, Kaylee. Um, and so I had. Um, I mean, during that time, it was rough. I mean, it was very emotionally draining, because I had workers in the house every morning at 7:30, and I'm just getting my coffee. I'm just getting woke up, and I don't wake up at 7:30. I sleep late because I stay up late. I'm up late because I do college work. I'm a full-time college student, and I do my work at midnight and beyond. So I sleep till 10, 11, 12 o'clock. And so I had these workers in my house, and it was something. They were great, but it was just, I wouldn't want to do it again. I would say remodel before you move in, or remodel when you're after you moved out, but don't remodel while you're living there. That's my belief. It's emotionally exhausting. Yeah, I love it, Richard. I absolutely love it. I love my kitchen now. Would I do it again? No. I because I wouldn't want to go through the process, but I'm happy, very happy with the results. I love the results. And but I don't want to do any more remodeling. Now, as you all know, Richard, I went out and planted 100 bushes and trees, and I threw my back out doing it because these are heavy. Picking these up, digging holes myself, carrying bags of potting soil, and I threw my back out. Then I kind of, then that caused my knee to go out. I mean, I was a mess for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then I got all better. And so now I'm very careful because I'm almost 70. At almost 70, I mean, no wrinkles, no nothing, but at almost 70 years old, I don't know any 70-year-old women out there doing what I was doing. I forget that I'm almost 70. I still think I'm 29. You know, I still think I'm 29. I deny, I'm old and young. I mean, sometimes I think, I'm 29, and other times I feel like I'm, totally my age. So I kind of live both, do both, you know. So yeah. And so I think if I'm going to come on here live, I'm going to put out a notification first. I think that would be better, but I don't know how to do it yet because I forgot how to do it. Where you put out like, I'm going live in 3 hours, that type of thing. And I got to figure out, because I haven't done this in 3 years on YouTube, 5 years on Facebook, and I'm still trying to figure my way out on on TikTok. I'm an ultimate golden girl over on TikTok, and I have a wonderful crowd over there, and they want me to do lives, and I can't figure out how to do the live. I'm having a technical glitch over there. So, thank you, Vex Magic. Oh, really, Richard? Because you've been on my channel a while. I mean, you're not new. I mean, you've been here, I would say a year here. Hey, Ed. Hey, welcome, welcome. And so, yeah, because you've been on my channel for, I would say, a year. Because I kind of get to know people when they comment on any kind of regular level. You kind of get to know people. And if you don't see them for a while, you wonder where they've been. I have one guy, I mean, he was a really nice guy and he was on my channel. He'd comment all the time and he just disappeared. And his channel was not like where he had content. He didn't have content on his channel. He only had like no subscribers. So I don't know ever know what happened to him. And there are some YouTubers that die. Some YouTubers just, what happens to, the YouTube channel when someone dies? So when I started off, I had the channel since 2011, but I didn't really come public until 2020. Okay. I mean, I was always public, but no one knew me because I just did the videos for my kids and they weren't, I didn't push them out or share them or anything really. And I just did them for my kids and my family and friends. And in 2020, I came out. Well, right before I came out on YouTube, there was an older woman who had a wonderful channel, and I call her my role model. She never met me. She didn't know who I was, but I watched her. Oh, that probably is what drew a lot of people in, Richard, was my dancing videos. And I still do them. I still do them. And so what happened, she had a wonderful channel. It was a Southern channel, very much kind of like, kind of folksy like mine, except mine's more motivational and wisdom, you know. And then she died. She just died. Her husband died first. He died, I don't know, of a heart attack or something. And then she got cancer and she died a few months later. And I mean, then her son took over her channel. And I quit watching it at that point because it was really about her. She had this magic about her. She was kind of folksy, kind of, Southern. And I loved her. I loved her. So, you kind of get to know people, people that come on here, and make content like I do, or people that come on live stream. Um, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Richard. Thank you so much. And you come on here and people know you, they get to know you and you get to know them, even if it's just through their comments. You really do. And you build relationships on here. And, you really do. You build all kinds of relationships on here. I've met a lot of wonderful people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right, old card. That was 5 years ago. And I still have my I've kind of morphed along the way. I grew up with grandma and grandma's porch, and we always gathered on grandma's porch, old car junkie. And to this day, we gather on my porch. So, people that know me in person come to my home. I make a big, in the summer, a big jug of iced tea, or in the winter, a cup of hot tea and coffee. And we sit out on the porch, on grandma's porch, and we just talk. We talk. And that's what we did back in the day. Now everything's done on the internet. But I still, you come to my house and we sit and talk. And so what you see in the videos, is who I am. I'm an artist. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I go to college full time. I've um, I've had several amazing careers in my time, and I've traveled and I've lived life, and I'm a very down home person. I'm a very loving, caring. I'm a mom first, a mom and a wife. That's a mom and a wife. And when my mom was alive and my daddy was alive, I was, a daughter and a sister. I had a brother and a sister, and I have a lot of wonderful long-term friends. My friends really mean so much to me. And then through YouTube and Facebook and TikTok, I've met some amazing people. Most I will never meet in person, but some I have. I've connected with some and we've actually met in person, and that was amazing. I mean, there was one very big, well known person. always wanted to meet. Always, always, always wanted to meet. And we met through, I think it was Facebook. And we got to know each other and we actually met. And we went to lunch and we had like a 4 hour lunch. Oh, it was fabulous. Fabulous. Hey, Lance, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. How are you? And and so I've met wonderful people here, and it's been a journey. It's been a lot of ups and downs. You have your real life, your in-person life, your non-virtual life, I should say, and what goes on behind the scenes. Like when my husband got cancer. Yay! 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 Lance, yay! A 5 hour lunch. Yep. Yeah, that was a 4 hour lunch, and I'd always wanted to meet her, and it was just everything I wanted it to be, you know, and it was because of virtual media that we met, so you don't really know, you do build relationships with people, and I have no idea. Oh yeah, I love the Golden Girls. I do. I love the Golden Girls. They're just amazing. I think is there any of them alive now? I don't think is there any alive? I don't know. Um, but so my real life is, you see a lot of my real life. My kids don't want to be on YouTube, nor does my husband. So you don't see them very much. Sometimes you'll get a little glimpse of them, but not too much. Wow, old car junkie. Yes, yes. Megan, Georgia? Because I live in the Carolinas. I live in the South, and I live in the Carolinas, but I also live on a little beach island, a little real island, right off of Savannah. And so I go back and forth. And this is my main home in the Carolinas, but I go to my little beach house down there where my kids were babies. My kids were all babies down there. Oh, Lance, one of my boyfriends back in when I first moved to Hollywood, he was from Georgia, and his name was Frank. And Frank had a '69 Dodge Charger. And one time he had to drive me to the LAX airport, and he just roared that thing. I mean, it was something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know. I just, um, well, take good care of it, Lance. Take real good care of it because, um, you never know. I mean, um, it can be worth a lot of money, something like that. And so, yeah, I go to other people's channels, and, they don't know who I am, but I feel like I know them. I don't even usually comment. Sometimes I'll comment. Very rarely do I comment um, um, on why is my stuff going up here? Um, Very rarely do I comment on unless it's somebody that I know. If it's somebody that I know well and I come to your channel, then I'll comment. But some people I never comment. I just watch their content, and it's amazing. You feel like you know those people, and they don't even know you exist, but you know them. You've got to know them. They've become part of your life, part of your world. You know. Oh, Lance, do you watch it on Pluto? I bet you watch it on Pluto because I was going to put him on today. I'm an artist and I paint, and um, I've never had a lesson or anything like that, but I've been painting for a long time. And I used to watch Bob Ross all the time. I loved his style. And so I don't watch TV, but I like to have something on in the background. And uh, oh, you mean on his YouTube channel? Yeah, Joy of Painting. Oh yeah, but he's on Pluto. They actually have a channel. It's nothing but Bob Ross, and Pluto's free. They've got the free version, and I watch the free version. I mean, I love. It's just nice to have in the background. You feel it's like comfort. It's like having comfort food watching Bob Ross's show. So yeah, I love it. Yeah, on PBS. That was where I originally started watching it, and he's so inspiring. Those old cars. Oh, I love those old cars. You know, the car that I wanted and still want is a 65 red Eldorado Cadillac convertible, like the one in Touched by an Angel. I don't know if you remember Tessa's car. She was an angel in the show Touched by an Angel, and she drove this 65 big red car. Oh my gosh, I just loved it. And if I ever found one and it wasn't like too expensive, I would buy it. I would just love to have it if it was in great shape and just drive it around. Be the old lady who drives around. I'll be eccentric. I didn't know that, Lance, but yeah, I just think they're so cool. I think they're so cool, to yeah, I'm just going to enjoy my life. I'm almost 70. I'm real close to it. I just say 70 because it's easier, that way I don't have to change it all the time. Um, yes, absolutely. Red with white leather. And, but, I want to use the rest of my life and be a mentor to people that I love. you know I feel like we're always learning. I've got that. We're always in the process of learning, but I feel like if I don't know it by now, I'm never going to know it. So I'm really more about teaching rather than learning. We always do continue to learn, but that's not my objective. I've learned, when I was in my 20s and, well, my childhood and teens and 20s and 30s, I read nothing but motivational, inspirational book. You name the book on the market, I read it. And every book that would come out, I used to have books everywhere, everywhere. And then one day I said, you know what? I'm done because it's just too much. It's too much now. I'm going to live what I've learned. There's a time that you have to step out and you begin to live. You begin to live what it is that you've learned. It's like being in school forever. You can't be in school forever. I mean, you could be, but at some point, you get out there. Lance, I did. I was a disco queen. I had the short skirt, shoes, huge hair, lots of false eyelashes. Although I had beautiful eyelashes, but back then you had to wear false eyelashes. And yeah, I did, back in the 70s. And I remember, yeah, Barry Gibb. Oh yeah, that was some of my favorite groups. I remember dancing to Donna Summer, "Love to Love You, Baby," and what was some of the songs in the 70s? "Wild Ride," and I loved Mick Jagger. You know, but in more recent times, I can't really get into any of the new people, whether they're actors, whether they're musicians. Um, oh, Card Junkie, I'm going to have to check those out. That sounds so wonderful. Wow, you are so talented. Frankie Valley, yeah. See, I'm a person. I listen to. I can't even think of it now. There's one group I absolutely love. You probably never heard of it. It's called Cowboy Junkies. She is amazing. She is so amazing. Look her up on YouTube. Cowboy Junkies. I think she should be a superstar. They're from Canada, and she just is so absolutely wonderful. Cowboy Junkies, but I music like that. I like good music. I went to John Mellencamp's concert because my husband's name is Jack, my name is Diana, and we always called ourselves Jack and Diane, and we still do. When we go to a restaurant, they say, "What's the name?" Jack and Diane. and people always remember us as Jack and Diane, and they play our song all the time. So we went to John Mellencamp's concert about a year ago. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, Charles. I've been to her restaurant in Hawaii when out on Kauai, and the coochie. I remember that. And but I love Van Morrison. I would say Van Morrison is my favorite, my all-time favorite. Van Morrison. Yeah, I really. I just think Van Morrison is. Oh yeah, I remember John Howe. Is he still around or is he passed? Because you know, I mean, I'm almost 70, and I think I remember him from when I was like 10 years old. I mean, it's amazing how fast time flies. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. I was gone tonight. So I had gone to a meeting. It was my husband's birthday, but we celebrated it yesterday, and I was going to re-celebrate it tonight, but he hurt his foot again. And so he didn't want to go out. So he said, go ahead and go to the meeting. So I went to the meeting. It was a social meeting that we both are part of, but he didn't go. So they were having tree decorating. And so I'm kind of in charge of the social media department for them. And so I need to go to the meetings. Even though it was my husband's birthday, I was still going to check him out after. And we went out last night. And I don't know if you saw the short I put up of what we had last night. Oh my gosh. It's a mom and pop restaurant. We live in Carolinas, so it's all comfort food. It was the best seafood platter in the world. In the world. I mean, the prices are so inexpensive. They're not expensive. It's a mom and pop diner, and I had every kind of assortment of on that fish platter. It was just incredible. And I put that up in a short, and it was so good. So good. We go to that restaurant all the time because the food is so good and it's not expensive at all. We like diners. We're into diners. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ted Nugent. Yep, yep. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Thank you. I'll tell him you said happy birthday. And so, yeah, I I really I enjoy Van Morrison. Motivational Doc, my dear old friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's wonderful to see you. If you don't know Motivational Doc, he's like a super rock star here on YouTube. He's got, what is it, 12 million subscribers? 12 million. I feel very honored, Motivational Doc, that you are here. Thank you so much. I've known you since you started off on YouTube. And I remember the old days when you started off, and I think you were living, if I'm correct, in Atlanta, because I was in Atlanta. I don't know if you know that at that time, but I was in Marietta when my kids were little, when my kids were real little. We lived in Marietta, Georgia. And I thought you were in Atlanta. And I think you were just starting out on YouTube. And you have become this incredible superstar. You have more subscribers than movie stars. I mean, it's just incredible. But of course, your content is amazing. And yes, we're all doing great. Um, we're doing great. Alan, my husband had gone through cancer, and he's 100% cancer free. We did the holistic way, and he's 100% cancer free. Has been for 3 years. And my kids are all grown. They're all grown adults. They're not little like they were when I was in Marietta, and when you and I first kind of connected on social media through, I think, Facebook. And so my husband's doing great. My kids are doing great. They're all grown up. They tell me what to do instead of me telling them what to do. Motivational Doc Alan, I used to go there all the time with my kids. They were little and they loved to go to the Big Chicken. So we'd go to the Big Chicken, and we used to go to Roswell Baptist Church, which was right across, down the street from that. And yeah, oh yeah, I know it so well. I know it so well. And we're living in the Carolinas. We live in the Carolinas, and we live on Tybee Island the other part of the time, which is down by Savannah. And so we go between here in the Carolinas and Tybee Island. And but yeah, I remember all that. I miss Marietta because my kids. I have so many wonderful, amazing memories. And as you know, Motivational Doc, if you, I think you've probably seen it. I put out 45 years. I've had 45 years of home videos, and I've been doing home videos since I was in very, very young. And I'm almost 70 now. It's hard to believe I'm almost 70. No wrinkles, no wrinkles, no facelifts, except for a mini lift I had when I was 39. It didn't work, so that doesn't count. And but I did 45 years of home videos pretty much every day. I started off with a big old camera, the big box camera you stick on the back, and I did that in California when I was living in California in Hollywood. And then I met my husband, and we traveled around the world, lived in Europe, lived everywhere. Oh, thank you, Alan. You're wonderful. Thank you. And I still have the T-shirt that you sent for my husband and I. Remember, you sent us two T-shirts. I still have those to this day. Absolutely, I cherish those. And if you ever come up in my area and you know where I live, I don't put it out on, YouTube, but you know where I live. Make sure you let me know, and I'll take you out to a wonderful um, golf resort lunch, you and your wife. And yeah, so life moves on, and I'm so grateful for those 45 years of home videos, because when I converted them over from VHS to DVD, or not to DVD, to digital, I got a little digital thing, and it converts them to digital from VHS to digital. And I uploaded them 45 years of home videos to hard drives. And I've shared them on YouTube, many, and some on Facebook. I've shared many, many, and it goes all the way back into the 1970s when I first moved to Hollywood, and then it takes me all the way through my Palm Springs era, my Newport Beach era, my LA era, my Hollywood era, marrying my husband, moving all around the world, living in Europe, and then having three beautiful children, and now, you know, this point in my life. So I'm here, I'm here. And I highly recommend that everybody do home videos and back them up, because you may not appreciate them now, but I used to put the video camera up at the dinner table when my kids were in high chairs. And I have all that. And I look back upon all the people that I've ever loved that are not with me anymore, that have passed on, like my mom, my grandma, my brother, my sister. They're all gone, you know, and I have them on video. And it's like they're right there with me. It's just amazing, you know. And oh, thank you, Alan. I appreciate you, Alan. I want you to know that you are amazing. And I haven't really connected to you with you on virtual media for what, a couple years, because I know you're a busy man with 12 million subscribers. I mean, I can't even imagine. I've got 22,000 on YouTube, and I can't even imagine how it would be to be at 12 million. I mean, it's just mind boggling. But you deserve it, because your content is amazing, and you are amazing, and you've worked for it. You've worked so hard to be where you are at, and now you're reaping all the benefits of it. And by the way, you're looking very fabulous, because I do see your videos, and you're looking younger than ever. You are. We both know the fountain of youth, right? It's great health. Take care of your health. Take care of your health so it takes care of you, So thank you. And so, yeah. So, coming here on YouTube, I can't remember. I was on Facebook earlier. Now I'm on YouTube. And, I'm on TikTok, and I'm trying to figure out how to do lives. But for some reason, it doesn't let me. There's a technical glitch, because I have a nice little crowd over there. Thank you. Thank you, Motivational Doc. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful time in Taiwan. And if you're ever back this way, and you're ever through my area, we'll do lunch. I would love to do lunch. My husband and your wife, and we can all do lunch and have a wonderful time. And you be safe over there. I'm sure it's beautiful. And keep doing what you're doing, my friend. Thank you. And so I think I'm probably going to head off out of here in a moment because my husband, we watch, let me tell you the funny little thing. We have our favorite people we watch at night together before he goes to bed. And I'm up late because I do my college work at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. But we watch, right now, we're into the Longmire series, which is wonderful. It's like a Western, it's a modern Western. Oh my gosh, we love it. And so we watch an episode a night from the Longmire series. I think it's on Paramount or one of those. I don't know what it is, but we watch that. And so thank you, Richard. And I appreciate you, Richard. Thank you for being here. And thank you for making great comments on my channel. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. So we're probably going to go watch one Longmire. Then I got to go check my homework. And then I'm going to take my bubble bath. I haven't taken my bubble bath yet. Normally I have taken it by now, but I was out decorating the Christmas tree for my group tonight. And it's one of my social groups I go to and everything. So, but I'm going to try to come on more often. I'd like to come on a couple times a week and usually around 9, 10 o'clock at night, somewhere 9, 10, 10:30 at night, I'd like to come on. Okay, because that's usually a good time for me. And so kind of be looking for me. And I really appreciate all of you. Okay, it's been a pleasure. And maybe, I'll pick up more traction as I go along and do more lives. Okay, so I'm going to go take my bubble. Well, I'm going to go watch Longmire first, and then I'm going to go take my bubble bath. But yes, I should be coming on here. I plan on coming on. I don't know if I'm going to use StreamYard. If I have people that I know will come up, then I may use StreamYard. If I don't, I won't. Oh, Car Junkie, friend me. It's Diana Brienne Fairchild. Um, Friend me over on Facebook. And, well, I've got 5,000, so I have to, but as soon as when I lose one, if you put that friend request in, I'll be able to accept it. And that would be great because I'd love to see your art and your cars and all that. So, and thank all of you. Okay. Well, now I got to figure out how to end the live stream. I don't even know. It's been so long since I've done this, so long. Love you all much. May God bless you. And until next time, and be looking for me and um, look for me in the 9, 10 o'clock, that kind of time frame, maybe even a little after 10 at night. I'm going to try to come on. Maybe not every night, and I can't predict the schedule. And I'd like to be able to put out notifications beforehand, but it's kind of hard for me because I never know when I'm really going to come on, and because I do have family and I do have obligations and things I do, and an in-person life. So, but I love coming on here. Thank you all. Love you and good night. Good night.